Hello and welcome back to Football Daily. With the new season well and truly underway, we're going to take a look at 10 new signings that have made an instant impact at their new sides. Let's get into it. 10. Joao Palhinha. We start at Fulham. Whilst it's Mitrovic understandably making the headlines, finally finding his feet in the English top flight with 6 goals in their opening 7 games of the campaign, new arrival Joao Palhinha has also settled into life in the Premier League with ease, following his £18 million transfer from Sporting in Portugal. Speaking about the move, the 27-year-old Portuguese international said, "One of the main things behind my decision to come here was the style of play. You can actually be tackled here. In Portugal, everything was a yellow card." Put simply, Palhinha loves to get stuck in, and he's shown just as much so far this season. His 4.6 tackles per 90 is the best across all of Europe's big leagues, showcasing a bite that has been missing in previous campaigns at this level for Fulham, although it's already resulted in a suspension thanks to 5 yellow cards already. He's also popped up with 2 strikes, both of which came in games Marco Silva's side won by a single goal, proving influential all over the pitch. £18 million will look a bargain if Fulham stay up this year. 9. Nikola Vlasic. West Ham United fans are probably casting their eyes towards Serie A's Torino, looking at Nikola Vlasic's performances and wondering why he couldn't do that in East London. The Croatian international scored just once in 31 appearances across all competitions with David Moyes' side, making just 6 Premier League starts, so it wasn't too much of a surprise to see the Hammers cut their losses during the summer. But their loss has certainly been Torino's gain. The 27-year-old moved to Il Toro on loan for the campaign, and they have the option to buy him for just £15 million, half what West Ham paid for him just a year earlier. And it's fair to say Vlasic is enjoying his football once more, having scored almost half of his new club's 7 goals to date this campaign. Whilst 3 goals doesn't sound that much, Torino would be 4 points worse off, meaning instead of looking up the table from 10th, they'd be glancing over their shoulder in 17th. Vlasic does also have a personal motivation, looking to play himself into a starting role for Croatia at the World Cup. On current form, he's definitely in with a shot. 8. Nicolas Tagliafico. To France next, and Lyon, where we could have quite easily picked out Lacazette's return as the reason Peter Bosch's side have spent time higher in Ligue 1 this season than he ever did last campaign, with the 31-year-old scoring 4 times already. But instead, we're going to take a look at defender Nicolas Tagliafico. After being touted for a move to Barcelona and then spending most of last year on the bench at Ajax, the 30-year-old moved for less than £4 million, bringing some much-needed experience and stability to Ligon's back line that features 2 teenagers in Malo Gusto and Castello Lukeba. The Argentine international is yet to miss a minute this campaign, and whilst his side might have gone on a 3-game losing streak, his defensive numbers truly stand out. From left-back, Tagliafico ranks 2nd in Ligue 1 for tackles and interceptions, completing 5.3 a game, a figure also good enough to put him in the top 10 for the Big 5 European leagues. It's also his highest rate since leaving South America in 2017, and he's even got a goal to his name too. So far, so good for Tagliafico and Lyon. 7. Wout Weghorst. Besiktas had a summer window that typifies the Turkish transfer market. They brought in the likes of Dele Alli, Masuaku and Nathan Redmond, looking to improve on last season's 6th place finish, 22 points off the top as they embark on just a 3rd campaign without continental football this century. The new name carrying the Black Eagles though is Wout Weghorst, now at his 3rd club this calendar year, joining on loan following an unsuccessful spell at Burnley where he scored just twice in 20 matches as the Clarets went down. However, the former Wolfsburg striker has already topped that at Vodafone Park, finding the net 3 times in his first 7 games. And when you add the 30-year-old's 4 assists into that, highest in the division, the Dutchman's 7 goal contributions amounts to almost half of Besiktas' goals and have been worth 8 points so far. That's the difference between being 6th and 2 points off the summit. With 6'6" Weghorst leading the line, it looks like they could challenge for the title. 6. Lisandro Martinez. Fewer players have been written off more before they even made their Premier League debut than Manchester United's Lisandro Martinez. At risk of sounding like a broken record, here was a 24-year-old that stood at just 5'9", making him the shortest senior centre-back in the English top flight. causing concerns that the Argentine international wasn't physically cut out for the division. And Martinez might have had a shaky start to life at Old Trafford, with Erik ten Hag's side losing their opening 2 fixtures, with the Dutchman even hooking the player he brought with him from Ajax at half-time in a 4-0 defeat to Brentford, but United followed that up with 5 wins in a row with him starting, before the embarrassing defeat to rivals Manchester City on Sunday. And Martinez has repaid his manager's faith with 2.5 defensive actions and completing a higher percentage of passes than any of his teammates. Prior to their Derby Day defeat, United had the 6th best defence by expected goals in the league, with the South American playing a key part in that and showing that size really doesn't matter. 5. Folarin Balogun. The first of 2 Arsenal loanees to make this list, striker Folarin Balogun has been on the fringes of the first team at the Emirates for a couple of years, making 10 appearances since his debut in the Europa League in 2020. However, failing to properly break through, he spent half of last season on loan at Middlesbrough, scoring just 3 times. This campaign though, he's been sent to Stade de Reims to continue his development, and he's hit the ground running. It took the England under-21 international just 3 games to match his output at Borough, and by his 6th appearance in Ligue 1, he already doubled his senior goal tally, scoring his 5th goal of the season. Now on 6 strikes, he's currently placed 3rd in Ligue 1's goal charts, higher than Lionel Messi and on par with Lille's Jonathan David. Averaging 2.3 shots a match, significantly more than his teammates, and currently scoring a goal every 100 minutes, Balogun's contributions will be crucial to a run side expecting to battle against relegation. Without his 6 goals and 2 assists, they'd be bottom of the league and winless. Let's hope for their sake, Balogun can continue providing the goods. 4. Robert Lewandowski. Currently sitting top of La Liga after 7 games, Barcelona have scored more and conceded less than anyone else, only prevented from having a perfect record themselves by a man-of-the-match goalkeeping display on the opening day against Rayo Vallecano. And, as you'd expect, they are being spearheaded by Robert Lewandowski, after the Blaugrana managed to whip up €50 million to sign him from Bayern Munich in the summer. The Polish striker, now 34 years old, has already found the net 12 times in all competitions, a figure more than triple any of his teammates. Looking at just La Liga, Lever is producing 1.43 expected goals and assists per 90, higher than at any other point in his career, and is already undoubtedly on track for his 7th consecutive top goal scorer award. In the year since Messi left, Barca tried out Memphis Depay and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang up front, but Xavi wasn't entirely sold on either. However, the introduction of Lewandowski means that for now at least, they are back among Europe's elite. 3. Steven Bergwijn. Used to seeing big names leave every summer, Ajax always need their new recruits to make a flying start as they continue to challenge at the top of the Eredivisie. That's especially the case when they smashed the national record to sign someone, as they did when they spent almost £30 million on Spurs' Steven Bergwijn in July. With Sebastian Haller gone, goals needed to come from somewhere, and the most consistent source so far has been the returning Dutchman, who was in the club academy until he was 14. Now 24, Bergwijn has netted 6 times in the league and 8 times in all competitions. 8 goals in his first 7 matches for the Amsterdam club equalled his tally whilst in North London, where he scored just 8 times in 83 appearances. Not even starting as a striker, those duties are left to Brian Brobby, Bergwijn is attempting 2.3 shots a game and averaging a goal every 95 minutes in the Eredivisie from the left wing. If it wasn't for PSV's lightning start to the season, Bergwijn would be the standout performer in the Netherlands. He's certainly the star man at the Johan Cruyff Arena already. 2. Nuno Tavares. After something of a calamitous first year with Arsenal, Nuno Tavares was probably in need of a reset elsewhere, before hopefully linking back up with the side at the Emirates. The former Benfica left-back was sent to Marseille for the 22-23 season, and you'd be hard-pushed to find anybody that believed the 22-year-old would have the impact he has in these early stages of the campaign. After just 4 games, Tavares had more than doubled his career goals total, finding the net a remarkable 3 times from fullback, including 2 long-range efforts off his supposed weaker right foot. He's also completing 2.1 dribbles per 90, significantly higher than any of his teammates and almost triple his numbers at the Emirates last year. But he remains a defender first and foremost, and isn't shirking his responsibilities, putting up an impressive 2.8 tackles a game, again almost triple what he managed in the last 2 years at either Arsenal or Benfica. If he maintains his form throughout the season, which is a big ask, then Tavares is surely in for a bigger role back under Mikel Arteta next year. 1. Erling Haaland. It's hardly a surprise that Erling Haaland is performing as well as he has since joining Manchester City. After all, he'd averaged almost a goal a game since the start of the 2019-20 season for both RB Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund, and there were no signs that he was going to slow down. But the extent to which the 22-year-old has been utterly dominant is on a level perhaps not even his biggest admirers expected. In just 10 games, the Norwegian international has scored 17 goals, finding his name on the scoresheet in all but one fixture, and even in that game, he got an assist. This included a brace on his Premier League debut and 3 hat-tricks against Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest and Manchester United respectively. His strikes make up nearly half of City's 36 goals in all competitions so far this season, and already puts him 11 ahead of the next highest scorer, Phil Foden. Of course, Pep Guardiola's side aren't a one-man team, far from it, but with Haaland now leading the line, it's hard to look past them for any competition this season. So that was 10 new signings carrying their sides, but do you agree with our choices? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more great content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.